Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augmented Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I'm your host as usual. Obviously, welcome back to the show. Today's episode 251 of the show, and before we get started, we're just going to do a little bit of house cleaning around here because it only makes sense that we do it, so let's just get on with the house cleaning. I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening. It does mean a lot to me. You guys constantly take time in your days to down these episodes, to show these episodes, to constantly keep letting me know how you feel, whether you like my stupid face or not, because at the end of the day, well, your opinions are greatly appreciated around here because, well, you guys vote on the topics, and without your guys' feedback, I wouldn't know how to improve, or if you guys actually like listening to what I'm talking about today, or any of the topics, then, we wouldn't be here. So, you guys are greatly appreciated, and also thank you guys for downloading and sharing these episodes, because, well, if you guys didn't do that, then I'd basically just be talking to myself at this point, and I would just look crazy. But, thank you, and I really do appreciate that. Also, thank you to the Patreon backers as well for supporting the show. You guys are all greatly appreciated as well. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that we've talked about in the past in the sense of the new iPhones coming out, or in this case, how we allegedly believe that the iPhone 14 series would have USB-C. And now at this point, it seems like it's already a given that the 15s, or specifically the 15 Pro series, will have USB-C going forward on the iPhones. And for a lot of people, this has been a very, big deal, especially due to the fact that yes, Lightning as a standard is not great. Obviously, when it came out, it was better than anything else at the time because it was better than the 8-pin connector that was, say, on the iPods and the original iPhones and things like that. And Lightning was based off the USB 2.0 standard, which at the time was really great in comparison to everything else. However, as everything does happen in the technology space, technology advances very quickly. This includes power standards, this includes data transfer standards, this includes, screens, this includes camera performances, etc., etc. And we've got to the point where now Lightning is obviously, very slow in comparison to the competition. And it doesn't help that Apple was very stubborn that they didn't want to include USB-C on the iPhones, but they did it on their iPads, the Macs, basically doing with almost any product they have aside from certain products like AirPods and the Apple Watches, prime example, because the Apple Watches charge. Yes, they use USB-C as the connection point that goes into the charger, but it still uses the little puck, or now it's basically a MagSafe puck going forward too. But here we are with all this stuff. We see, or based off the leaks and the rumors, that yes, the Pro series of the 15 will have USB-C, and of course Apple decides to include a catch with it, because of course they did. This has always been one of the biggest debates that people have always had, is would Apple actually put USB-C on the iPhone, or would they just go wireless? And a lot of people, myself included, I remember when I said this, that Apple would rather go wireless than ever put USB-C on an iPhone. These homies are that stubborn that they would rather just get rid of the port completely and just advertise it as this is the future, get over it, wireless charging is the way. Because look, let's be honest here. Would it surprise you? No, it would not. That's just being 100% transparent here. Apple has been known to do this. When they removed the headphone jack to promote wireless, homies, we saw them do this. And it wouldn't surprise me that they would have done this going forward, especially when we saw that they wanted to do AirPower and things like that, and obviously that failed. But the end game for Apple in many ways, I do see them, is going down the wireless route. I think objectively speaking, that is the end game. And they didn't want to use USB-C at all. They would, they'd rather have just milked you suckers dry, and included, and just kept Lightning until they couldn't use it anymore. But now that because of the whole lawsuit that happened in the EU, or now they're basically forced to use USB-C going forward, and well, they will, but at the cost of, you guessed it, you can use USB-C on an iPhone, except the cable has to be made by Apple for Apple products, which of course they were going to do some bull like this, because it's Apple at the end of the day. Guys, let's be real here. It's a business at the end of the day. They're going to try to make money, because let's be real. If they were only just going off using the USB-C standard, then you basically could use any cable that you have. Like personally, I have a bunch of cables from Anchor. I just recently bought this set that I've been using from JSOX for a while now, and I've been really loving these cables. Obviously JSOX made if you're not familiar with them, they're the ones who made the dock and a bunch of other accessories for the Steam Deck. So if you want some accessories, I'm not sponsored by them, but go check them out. They're great products. But we run into this issue where, yes, technically it's a W, because in the sense that we get USB-C on an iPhone, it's just the problem that the cables have to be made by Apple, sold by Apple, only for Apple. And it's just funny because it's like they're gonna put something in these damn cables to ensure, or even in the phone itself, like to detect that if it's not using an authentic cable or one that's made by Apple or for Apple only. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, why? They don't do this on the iPad, they don't do this on the MacBooks. Why are you doing this for the iPhone? And I get it. The iPhone is what, prints all the money, homie. It's just the facts of the matter is that the iPhone is prints, pays the bills around here. And yeah, I get it. They obviously want to protect their investment, their IP. They want to make sure that, they're getting as much profit as they can from this stuff. But at the end of the day, it comes off really bad, we're not going to sit here and beat around the bush. Yeah, it's pretty bad, the fact that they're doing this. Is it annoying? Yes. And it's just to me, it's just stupid. There's no other way to beat around the bush, guys. It's just stupid. And I just wish that this didn't have to be the case, I wish we could have just had a simple transition where we could just have USB-C on an iPhone and call it a day. But no, we don't get to have that, because Apple's like, nah, homie, you're going to take the L and suck it up, buttercup. It's just one of those things where it's like, this company just actively finds a way to screw you, bro. That's just the objective facts here. They are going to take a shit on you any chance that they get. Any chance they get, they'll do it. And I'm like, does it sadden me? Yes, it does. I think for a lot of people, this is going to piss them off. Do people really care? No, because it's still going to sell like gangbusters. Let's just be real here. Mother effers are still going to buy this stuff like it's hotcakes. These are just the objective facts here. You guys are still going to buy this shit like it's absolutely nothing. And am I going to upgrade? Not really. I recently just upgraded my 11 Pro to the 14 Plus, and to be honest, I really love the 14 Plus. I have always said this, that yes, I've seen the chatter online and things like that with the 14 Plus, that people are like, why does this phone exist? It doesn't make any sense. Why should anyone buy this? And it's like, well, when you see a lot of the issues that were with the 14 Pro Max, you're like, okay, yeah, if you want the better battery life and just a bigger iPhone, just go for the 14 Plus, and it makes more logical sense. Cheaper, it's basically the same phone. And for me, when I look at and here's another thing about this too. Let this sink in. The USB-C is only going to be on the Pro series. It's not going to be on the regular. So that means the regular 15s are still going to have Lightning. So it's this idea of you're putting USB-C as a Pro feature, even though the iPad Air has it, the iPad Mini has it, even the new baseline iPad has it. And it's like, brother, what are you doing here? This is clearly not a Pro feature. Bro, there's literally $200 smartphones that have USB-C. What the hell are y'all doing? You get what I'm saying? It literally makes no logical sense as to why, But at the end of the day, this is who we're dealing with. We're dealing with Apple. Like, this company is arguably one of the most stubborn companies to ever exist on this planet. And it's like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Like, do you guys think that this was a prosumer move? Let's be real. Objectively here, this is not a pro-consumer move. I don't see how anybody could try to spin this logically in a way that makes sense. The only possible way I could see this make any form of sense is if the reason why they're using proprietary cables for USB-C is because they developed a better standard of USB-C that is than what is available on the market. Or if they try to, like, I promise you they're going to try to spin this as a way of like reliability, like security and things like that. Like, so, like you have to use our cables to ensure that you get a good connection, no issues with charging, doesn't affect your battery. They're going to try to spin this hogwash as much as you can. And they're going to sell this up as like, for our prosumers or our pro users, we have now added USB-C so you can transfer those files a lot faster. And I'm like, it took you guys this long to realize, hey, we're selling this phone that is advertised at pro consumers to take pro level video and pro photos and have, pro raw and then pro res raw and all this other stuff on it. And it has the slowest transfer speeds of all time. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be curious to see, people buy it. Obviously, people are going to buy this. This is just a matter of fact here. We know the iPhones are always going to sell well. They sell well every single year. These are just a matter of facts. Not all of them, because there are some exceptions that there's some iPhones that don't sell well, like the minis. And obviously the 14 and the 14 Plus, apparently didn't sell as well, but, they still did good. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think, how do you feel about this overall? Like, are you excited that USB-C is coming to your iPhone? Do you even care? Do you even know what it is to begin with? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And, share your thoughts, share your opinions. And overall, I'm happy that it's going to happen, that we're getting USB-C. It's progress, a step in the right direction. It's just, you take one step forward and you're basically taking 5 steps backwards. And it's just like, brother, at this point, you might as well have just gone wireless at this point and just call it a day, But let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week and weekend. I hope everyone's spring break, if you have a spring break, has been going very well. I hope it's been relaxful. I hope it's been, pleasurable. I know for me, to be honest, I'm here on campus. I'm just working on campus and working my other job here in Lubbock. It's been very enjoyable in the mornings, just going for a walk, very blissful, very peaceful, enjoying time with my dog and just, enjoying a new book that I've started. Highly recommend it. If you guys want book recommendations, go check out Why Do I Do What I Don't Want to Do from Jonathan Pokluda. It's a new book that just came out recently. I highly recommend it. And at the end of the day, be safe out there, guys. Don't do anything dumb. If you're traveling, be safe, have safe travels. And when you come back, hey, hope you have a safe travels back and hope you, can acclimate back to whatever you were doing before going on break and traveling. But you guys be safe out there. I love you guys to death. And as always, don't do anything dumb. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys. Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.